favorite part about being a manager, and I still manage today, right, is helping people grow. That is a passion I have, developing others. And I spent 4 years doing it directly in professional development with Fran, and not Ryan, but he came in later, but with the team. And that was fantastic for me, because it allowed me to find even more ways to connect with people. Processes are people for me. When I look at a process, it's not just about moving something from box A to box B. It's about who's moving it, and why they're moving it, and where they're moving it to, and what are the reasons that it has become an A or a B. You really have to get to know the people and the reasons behind any process that you have before you can do anything to fix the process. All right, I'm about to get really annoying. But I'm gonna go third grade on you, and I'm gonna ask you why until you give me a real answer, right? So I'm gonna ask you why, and you need to expect it at least 5 times. So it kind of sets the stage. So the 5 whys make sense even in what we're doing here, right? Because quickly you'll get answers that say, oh, because Joe gave it to me. Why? Because he doesn't want to do it anymore. Why? Because he's tired of working nights. Why? Because the system doesn't work in the daytime. I mean, you're like, oh, we've got bigger problems than you just have you have Joe's job now. It's Joe didn't want it because it wasn't working. We have these unconscious biases in conversations all the time, and since they're unconscious, you can't be aware of those at every single moment of the day. But you can learn how to ask those questions that invite their perspective more than yours. I really enjoy those coaching moments with people, even though they typically come through trials and struggles. When someone brings something like that to you, a problem with an employee that they have, or a challenging relationship across the hall, or they can't get a vendor to do what they need them to do. Those are great opportunities to learn about the person, and to give them space to explore a safe way to approach those difficult conversations. I think every manager who has a top player and they start to hint that they're leaving, you kind of think, oh geez, what the heck am I going to do? Let that person know. If I haven't already done my job of letting that person know they are valued, I want them here, what can I do to make your work better so that you want to continue to be part of this team, that I just put it out there. I can't hold my cards close to my vest. I have to say, look, I want you on this team. You are a valuable player. Your contribution helps us achieve our goal. What can we do to keep you engaged in our team? Good question. Saying no is, I think people look at me as the budget, they call me the budget lady, or the person who always says no. But I don't say no by myself. What I do is I explain. And I try to empower people to understand where we are and help them arrive at the same decision, right? Or at least see how I got to the decision. That's been essential in building trust. And trust is a huge part of having a good relationship at the cabinet level. I want my cabinet colleagues to understand that when I tell them something, they don't have to question it. And the only way to do that is to show them all my cards, is to never hold something back that needs to be said, never hold something back that could help something move forward. If there's not a really, really good reason to not do something, I'm gonna say let's do it. If there's not a really good reason to do something, I'm gonna challenge us, and I'm gonna say, does this align with our priorities? But people are gonna know where I stand. Surround yourself with competent people is the first part of that, so that you are never alone in those decisions, actually. You may be the final say in something, just as I am often the final say, but my answers come from a host of people who are experts in their area. And I'll tell you this time and again is ask questions. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. The only bad questions are the ones that you don't ask, that you don't get answers to. I talk to people. I step outside of my job description all the time to do whatever it takes to get it done.